All right, there we go. I know you can see it because I've got another computer open that I can see it on as well. So that is fantastic. Jim said, election day is tomorrow. What might happen in the market? You mean other than the market going down, then back up, then down, then back up, then down and back up again from last week? Not a whole lot more. Not a whole lot more, that's for sure, Jim. We're going to talk about the market and politics and all that great stuff. I know you all want to hear it. Let me just see where it is. Okay. Aha, here we go. Beautiful. Let me move this out of the way. I don't need to see me. Just need to know it's there. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Look at what happened last week, Jim. I mean, look, we'll pull a chart up of the S&P 500, right? Here, I mean, we had the big gap down on Monday, right? We went back down on Tuesday, up Wednesday, down Thursday, up Friday, up today. We're all over the friggin' place. There's no rhyme or reason. Why is Wall Street getting excited today about the election? I mean, there's nothing COVID related out there that's positive. So what else is it? I mean, what the heck is driving the market the way that it is? Think about it. There's just not a whole lot out there right now to say yay or nay. Oh, let me rephrase that. There's a lot of talks of Trump not winning the election. And if that is the case, Wall Street has not expressed excitement over that, period. Okay, so that's where Wall Street steps in on this. The virus is part of what drove everything down last week, the shutdown of Europe. You know, I saw a video last evening where a guy was laying out percentages by state, by country rather, of who was the worst and how bad they are. And the video was explaining why more people he was talking about why more people are getting COVID now, but less people are being hospitalized or less serious from it, right? And we don't have any real news out from COVID. Who was it? Remdesivir, whoever one of the R ones were, I guess. One of the drugs that they're working on now that they said that are approved, I guess. But they said it's a 3-month process to grow the cultures to make the vaccine. So 3 months, man, we'll be in friggin' spring already before this stuff even gets going. So that one, that it wasn't like that's great news when people go, oh yes, by 3 months from now we should have that. That wasn't enough to drive the market up 400 points today, right? At all, right? When I say the market, the Dow, right? Not the S&P. S&P is up about 45, 48 or so right now, right? So I think we're in for a good run. Those of you that are in the E-mini think tank or are trading futures, I can promise you this. Personally, I will be in my office tomorrow night, and I will be watching the futures tomorrow. Actually, we have class tomorrow, don't we? Yeah, we've got our mastermind group tomorrow. Yep. So 8 to 9 o'clock, I'll be in class with the mastermind group. And then I'll be watching the futures at night to see what they're doing, because there was a huge shift last presidential election, last time around. So who's going to be president? I have no idea. There's one gentleman on CNBC that's been very vocal that he is a Biden supporter. Or I shouldn't say that. He's been very vocal that he's not a Trump supporter. How about that? And today he was asked the question of, what do you think about the polls? Joe Kernan asked him, what do you think about the polls? And he's, people showing up at the, not the polls, the rallies, people showing up at the rallies. He goes, you don't see all these people for Biden out there in the rallies. And again, guys, this is not political. This is how we read into the market is all it is. And he said, well, they're doing it on purpose where they don't want as many people at the rallies. And then Kernan jumps in and goes, well, you would have expected, the last hurrah, you'd have gotten bigger crowds in the Biden camp. And then the guy goes, listen, right now, if you listen to the polls, it says that Biden's going to win the election, hands down. But when you see and then he admits it, he goes, when you see how many people are not showing up at the showing up at the rallies, right? He said, it looks like Trump is going to win. So the guy went from, I believe Biden's going to win to, I'm not sure who's going to win now. And I really think that's where a lot of people are right now, is we just don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty right now out there of what's going to happen in the market, right? How bad will it be or not be based on who wins, right? And then what's the outcome for it, right? I mean, right now there are some Wall Street companies out there that have done a good job of supporting one president versus the other, one candidate versus the other, right? More so to the Biden camp, where Trump says, we're not taking the individual money because we don't want to be obligated to anybody. Well, guess what? Anybody that did pay out money is expecting something in return. But there have been some that are very vocal against the president now, against Trump. If I were Trump and there was someone bad mouthing me, I would probably do everything I could in my power once I won again, if he wins again, to make their life an absolute living hell. So I'm surprised to see some of these guys out there as vocal as they are. And I'm not talking about the stars. Most of them are just friggin' idiots. They got lucky. They got a good face, a good voice, and they became a star. They're not really role models for most people. Go look at their lives and go figure that out. See what what they've gone through with drugs and alcohol and rehabs and all that great stuff. I got you, Ellen. I got you. I'm with you. So let's see. Jim said futures huge shift in 2016 till around 3 to 5 a.m. Eastern. The YM was down 800 points, then turned around and came back strong. Absolutely. Crushed it. We wound up that day. Absolutely. That's what I said, Jim. Now, but they are expecting that with some of the early voting, like my wife and I went yesterday. We went to a poll. We weren't dropping our ballot off somewhere in a box that someone could set fire to or something. We or take them out or whatever they might do. So we went and voted early yesterday. So they've got a lot of these numbers already in. So they, according to Florida as an example, according to the Florida Elections Board down there, they, even though in 2018 they had another debacle with the chaff on the paper and did you go over the line and all that stuff, even though they had another debacle there, they said this time they've got it figured out and they expect to be very early to have the results in Florida. Florida's again, depending on who you listen to, a 50-50 state. But they're saying even places there in Florida that are very Republican, that there are people now, switching over to Biden and saying we're voting for him. Listen, you're going to like him. You're not going to like him. Either whoever the president is, someone's going to like him. Someone's going to hate him. Sprint's done a great job for me with my cell phone, but I guarantee there's somebody that absolutely hates Sprint, right? It doesn't matter. There's always going to be someone that hates the opposition, the other side, right? Bottom line is we better come up with some kind of stimulus plan, because I think that some of the governors out there are ready to shut down again. And if they start shutting businesses down again without stimulus, I think we put ourselves in a world of hurt that I don't know if these people can ever come back from, with the amount of money that some of these people have already lost, which is everything for many of them out there, right? So where's the market go based on this? Listen, trade the damn futures at night. Trade the futures tomorrow night. Look at the futures, right? You're going to get clear. You're going to get enough of a decision short term to figure out where the market is going based on the news that's out, who's winning and so forth, right? You're going to get enough movement in there that there'll be some activity tomorrow night in the futures, right? Beyond that, it's pretty sad, when you look at places like New York City, that they've got to board up businesses because they're afraid of the post-election riots. I mean, to me, I'd have the National Guard there, and it would be with deadly force if you're out on the street and you're destroying property. I'm sorry, guys. I do not have any tolerance for a man or woman that's worked so hard their whole life to build their business, and because I want to protest or someone wants to protest, we can destroy your property and rob it and burn it and beat you if you try to stop us and do whatever we want to, and get told by your governor, well, that's not the protesters. They're rioters. They're different. Yeah, okay, maybe. Peaceful protest would be nowhere near someone that's kicking in windows and buildings and setting them on fire and all of this. Yeah, arson, right? Is a reason for deadly force in Colorado. I agree. I didn't know that, Eric. Erica said they're boarding up DC also. Brenda said, let's make sure we understand that there is a difference between. Yes, Brenda, there is. But if I am a protester and the riot's going on, I am not staying where the riot is. I'm walking away. And that wasn't the case. You had massive amounts of people that were involved with this. And part of it is the crowd mentality of just getting sucked in. I understand for some that may be unfortunate, they're wrong place, wrong time, but anybody that throws a brick or steps into that store, sorry, you're done. Toast. Vegas is boarding up also. Yeah, it's pretty sad, huh? Suzanne said, my office is near a place they like to riot. Never thought I'd cheer on the use of tear gas before. Right? It's got to be scary. Just think about walking over there. And Ohio did some kind of stimulus package for unemployment and companies. Oh, well, that's good, Brenda. I mean, that's great that the states are stepping out. But if we don't get the federal to come in, I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen. A lot of rioters came from other states. Yeah, and again, I understand, but protesters shouldn't be anywhere near them. They're breaking into a building. Protesters should be breaking off and going somewhere else, not standing there and videotaping it. Robert said, let's not be premature and close up and exit to Canada yet. Let them leave. Let them leave and make it one way and make it a one-way exit for them. Canada is actually doing pretty well from at least Lisa, who's works with us in our office now, who lives in Canada, had said, yeah, we're doing good here. No mask mandates. And, we've had, very low case rates and all that good stuff. So guys, here's the thing. Bottom line is, right now, you need to be looking at the S&P, which you've got on the screen here. You need to be looking at the S&P over the next couple of days, not from this position, right? You need to be very hyper-focused on what's going on. You really need to have it, written down on a piece of paper, on a sticky. Put a sticky up on your monitor of your computer with the various Fibonacci levels, support and resistance levels, moving average levels, whatever. Snap them on your intraday charts. Keep them where they're visible to you. So when we start getting near those levels, no matter what, you shouldn't be this. This should not be the mode at all. You should be sitting here saying, okay, what's the next method that I could take advantage of right here? For me right now, if we close where we are right now tonight, and we can get a bounce off of a support level tomorrow, I'm in, right? If we break, depends who wins, right? If we break that support level and can get a retest and a fail, I'm in, right? So I think you need to be very focused on what the market is doing right now, not, all right, well, unless you just make the decision of, I'm going to walk away and come back in a couple of days and see what happens. And that's okay too. I want to try to take advantage of the moves in the market. I really don't want to just walk away personally. I really want to try to capture what I can out of this type of move. I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but I like the action and the movement, and I liked it because I know there is known news coming out on the market, and I'd like to try to take advantage and trade it. I mean, look at today. Let's call it 3,300, right? How did the market do today at 3,300? Right, let's snap a line at 3,300. And it's actually 32.99, right? So let's just do that, 32.99. A little bit less, but we're close enough. All right. So we gapped and went right through it. We came back, we closed just underneath it, and we got a bounce. I mean, talk about opportunities. There they were. And where's my stop? Right down below our low of that first candle. Wherever that wick came down to, that's where your stop is. Right? Find a stock that acted the same way as this. All right, we got a gap up on Apple. We came back and got a I don't have, that may not be the nearest number on Apple. Actually, I think it is. But we didn't get the same pullback in those first four candles, right? So Apple, may or may not be it, right? How about Tesla? Well, Tesla was a runaway bride, right? Couldn't trade Tesla. How about the Depot? Home Depot. Now, again, you need to find out if there's a support there, right? Home Depot went up. It pulled back. Look at Home Depot. Looks just like S&P 500 did. Yeah, SPY, Amos, exactly. I was kind of holding that one off as the last one. So there's SPY, right? Slightly different visual, but same concept, right? It came down on the third candle, bounced on the fourth, right? If you've got a support level in there, boom, you're in. right? That gives you the opportunity to take that directional trade. That's the not directional, but a day trade. Right? Tripp said AMD. Yeah, so AMD made well, gapped up. Oops, sorry about that. It gapped up, pulled back, and bounced. So we got a quick gap fill, and we got a nice little bounce. Right? Point being is you're going to be, look, guys, this is just it. It doesn't change. All right. I can tell you right now, there are somewhere between 8 and 12 mistakes that traders tend to make over and over and over and over again. Right? If you're trying to boil pasta, but you don't put any water in the pot and you throw the pasta in, you're going to have a problem. Okay. If you do it again the next time, you're repeating the same problem. You're not doing it different. Right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? Insanity. There are 8 to 12 common mistakes that traders tend to make, and they do them over and over again. And they get stuck in a cycle, and you just keep doing it again and again and again and again and again. I got a buddy of mine that he's a regular trader, right? But he never sets a stop. And when his position goes against him, he buys an option at $10 and it's worth $2. He said, well, I probably should have set a stop earlier for that. Yeah, no kidding. But it's just a mental block. He just doesn't do it. And when I say mental block, that's not really what it is. It's just he's blocking it out to not to do it, right? It's actually he's actually manifesting that upon himself, right? Where he's not placing the stop. It's almost like, yeah, I'll show you. Ha, I won't do it, right? So the patterns that we see, that we saw in the S&P 500, right here, that pattern is a very common pattern. It's an extremely common pattern. There's no excuse people can't be making money trading. Now, I understand some of you, you're working, this is your lunchtime, you're here watching it, you're watching a recording of this, you're not taking the trades. I fully get that. I'm using this as an example only, right? There are ways to be profitable in the market if you will just take the time, energy, effort, money, whatever it costs you to do it, to learn how, to figure out how to invest in a brokerage account, right? In education, whatever it is, there are ways to do it, right? Well, I'm not going to do it that way. It's okay. You do it any way you choose. You know, all of a sudden we've got a lot of people coming back from a previous company I was with, are finding me and showing back up. And I don't know if they got groups and they're sharing it with each other or what, but we're seeing all these new people come in from previous company. And some of them, you know, have sent some messages, emails to support or Facebook or whatever it was. And they're doing I know who they are. They're doing the exact same things they did 10 years ago when I taught them the first time. They're still doing the exact same things that go against them over and over and over and over again. Right? Guys, you can be successful in the market. You just have to find your way as to what the right thing is for you. So Erica said, what if you're watching the market still set a stop? So Erica, you know, there's different personalities. And I'm sorry, folks, I don't know why, but I am just stuck on looking over here at the chat box to talk instead of here at the camera. There's different personalities. For some, you don't have to set that stop and you're okay, right? Meaning you're watching it and it actually hits the mental stop that you want, and you're going to go ahead and pull the trigger. The problem is if you get a massive candle, you know, look at this red candle. Excuse me, sorry about that. You look at this red candle here, and I know it's the end of the day. I'm using it as an example. You can see how small the other candles were in here, and all of a sudden you get this big move. If that was your position, Eric, and it's basing in here, and you don't have a hard stop in place, you may wind up getting out in a much worse place. So I do like the idea of having the actual stops. It also, and for me personally, I don't sit like this focused on the screen the entire time I'm in the trade. I get up and go. I walk away. I'm going and doing something else, right? And when I get on a phone call, I'm a walker. I put a headset in and I put 2,000 steps on in the house, just walking back and forth while having a business conversation on the phone, or personal, but my personal won't last that long, right? So if you can guarantee that you're going to pull that trigger, then I'm okay with it as long as you don't have those, you know, major hits going against you like that. I'm fine with that. All right, so let's see. Jim said, first thing you do after you get filled is to place a stop, let your winners run, cut your losers short. Exactly, Jim. Exactly. And I forget the I want to use a saying, but I don't remember. It's something verse and phrase or phrase and verse. I don't know. You know, verbatim what you just said. Most traders know that. I need to put a stop in place and let my winners run and cut my losers short. And most traders know it. They just don't do it. And I can't, you know, it's funny. I can't do it the same way. Well, let me see how I can do this here. You see this? All right. If I can do it this way. Okay. No, I'll just do it this way. All right. I know what I'm going to do. All right. So when I'm teaching a seminar, I stand in front of a room and I give this example from a mindset perspective of what's going on. And men and women, huge difference in how the human mind works, period. Right? Between left and right brain, men tend to operate in one sphere only at a time. And they literally shut the door shuts between left and right. For women, it's like someone stuck a wedge in there and it's open a little bit still. So there's some flow of information back and forth, not for men the same way, okay? The way that it was explained to me by a neurologist. So now, for men, we tend to get stuck in that same rut over and over again. Now watch. If I was doing this, I would be standing up and I would be turning side to side, right? But what I'm looking or saying here is it feels like you're in a mirror or looking in a mirror of what's going on. And you stand there and go, why did you do that trade? I don't know. But you did the same thing the last time. I know. So what made you do it? I have no idea. Then why don't you get out? You're right, I should. Are you going to? Probably not. And you're going back and forth and having this internal argument with yourself. You know what you're supposed to do, but you don't want to do it. Yeah, Erica said, sounds like my conversation to myself. Luna said, I love this. Erica said, yeah. So, I mean, guys, it's pretty straightforward. All right. Here, those of you that are trading the market, please tell me, and again, you guys know, and gals, none of this is planned. I have absolutely no idea who's showing up here or not. I don't look at lists and email people. I could care less, right? I do a free training, show up if you want, right? Tell me, those of you that are trading the market and are seeing some successes, right? So Roman, Amos, Tripp, and whoever else, right? Anybody, Erica, whoever else that's in here, because I only see about a half a dozen names. Whoever else is in here, tell me, what would you accredit or attribute one of the number one thing that has helped make you successful trading? Tell me what that is. What is the thing that has helped you the most to become successful in the market? It isn't, well, I don't want to say what it isn't. All right, so the first one in there was from Roman, follow Rob's rules. Yeah, Roman and I had this conversation the other day, right? We had this conversation the other day that he says, I do great when I follow your rules, and every time I change them, I don't do as well, right? I get in trouble. Systems and trading plans, okay? So is there a particular system or trading plan that you're following, Will? Where did you get it from? Tripp, repetition, right? So is that drills that I put you through, Tripp? Let's see. Kevin said, follow a mentor and follow the rules. All right. Guys, sorry, they're just moving so fast. Gunther said, clear rules. Erica said, agreed, your rules, parentheses, trading plan. Susan said, emotional and spiritual work, to be calm, to follow the rules. There you go. You're taking that to a higher plane now. Let's see. Amos said, mastermind group and teaching the strategy, and then have us pounded into my head with a jackhammer. Okay, so Trader Will said, I got it from Wealth Builders. David said, placing an order with a GTC and a stop. Good. Doing the same. Tripp said, doing the same thing and getting good results. I like that phraseology. Okay. Guys, whether it's a system, it's a mentor, it needs to be something that you can repeat, rinse and repeat, and do it over and over and over and over and over again. And you need to have that in your trading plan and your trading system. You just do. You absolutely unequivocally have to have something like that in there. For me, I went and took my 2-day training. It was in New York. It was on March 21st, right? It was 1997. It was on March 21st of 1997. And it was a 2-day event. And the gentleman that I met at that event, his name was Vaskin. And he came up to me at the end of the second day and said, "Kid, we're going to get together at my house once a month and talk about the market. Are you interested?" Yeah, I'm in. Right. And the first 2 months were an absolute waste because it was nothing more than people complaining about their girlfriend. My dog got sick and all nice stuff. I mean, things I don't mind talking to my friends about, but I didn't, just spend $15 to get into Manhattan, spend an hour and a half to get there. So we could talk about someone's dog, pick up a damn phone and call me, right? I don't need to know that stuff there. And I said something to him that we needed to change the format in there. And he said, "Great, you do the first one." I'm like, "Huh?" He said, "No, you teach. Go ahead, I'm like, "Vasquez, I was in the same class as you. You were trading the market for 50 years, 40 years. Well, why would I teach?" He goes, "Because we're not going to yell at you and say you did a bad job. We're going to pick on the strategy and see what we can do to poke holes in it and then try to plug the holes." Right? But my successes all came for everything I've done in life, came from a mentor. I'm a woodworker. I'm pretty good. I'm not great. I'm not an artist, but I'm pretty good as a woodworker. I didn't learn it on my own, right? I had a mentor in school, in high school, who took me under his wing, and I would cut class, go hang out in the wood shop, and he would teach me how to do certain things in there, how to use tools that you weren't allowed to use. You weren't allowed to use a table saw, right? He taught me how to use a table saw and how to build things and construction methodologies and so forth. He's the reason I was able to start my construction company right out of high school, is because of what he taught me. So for me, it's always been find someone that's doing what I do, duplicate their actions, and look for similar results. That's me. That's me. So it's not the market. It's not the account size you have. It plays a factor in it, the market condition. Heck, wouldn't you have rather have started? Wouldn't you rather be trading right now, from how the beginning of the year went, with the exception of COVID, get all of the COVID stuff out of it when you want to go back to what the beginning of the year looked like? Of course. But it's not the condition you have right now. So if this is where you're starting, this is where you have to learn. The nice thing is you're getting battleground or battlefield training right now. So you'll understand what it means to get beat up once in a while, have the market whipsaw on you. How do you react to that? How do you set stops in those types of environments where, some newer traders that come in Pollyanna and everything's just good, right? Life is great. It's just a great market. You can't lose money. Nothing wrong with that. But as soon as the market flips over, you're in trouble. And I've seen it. I had a student that quit his job. He was trading, and because he felt he had it down, but he was spending everything that he made in the market. And when the market flipped on him, and he had leap options on Amazon and something. Now, this wasn't COVID. This is pre-COVID. When the market flipped on him, he got in a lot of trouble. And it got to a point that he didn't have any funds in his account anymore because he was spending everything that he made. He never saved a penny of it. He would say, I could take an extra $3,000 out of my trading account because I'll make it back next month or next week, right? So you got to be careful there. Let me see if I missed anything. And a lot of what everyone has said too, Trip said. Okay, all right, well, that's good. That's good. Excellent. So realistically, if I gave you a little bit of a checklist, right, you want to get yourself a trading plan, documented trading plan. If you go to the homepage of Wealth Builders HQ, you scroll down and you go into business development. You click learn more. Trading plan. Trading plan right there, right? Go ahead and watch it, right? And there's a printed version of it as well, right? Go ahead and watch it, right? You definitely want to know what it takes to build out a trading plan. It's all here, guys. It's not hidden. It's right here, right? Everything about it is right here. Go ahead, take this document, which is how many pages long? 13-page document on creating a trading plan, right? And there you go. Who was it that said, Suzanne, here you go. Spiritual experience. Okay, big fan of it, of that component of it, right? So, but go ahead and create yourself a trading plan. That will be extremely important that you do that, right? You want to have a trading plan documented in place. The trading plan, you could break it up from your systems if you want. The trading plan should include things, mine is about 35 pages long. but it's a life plan, mine. It's not just a trading plan. It's a business plan for my life, right? But it should, inside the trading plan should include things such as capital, meaning what are you starting with to trade, right? It should also have risk profile of who you are. In other words, are you a person that's willing to take on risk, or are you a person that goes, oh, wait a second, risk? Oh, no, we don't do that. No, we don't do risk, right? Or somewhere in between, right? Where are you in there, right? So your risk profile is built inside of there. You definitely want to create at least one trading system in there, right? You want to have a section there on your education. What are you doing for education? How, what time are you spending every day or every week? You may be in a job and a life that just doesn't allow. You may work 14-hour days, from home, but you don't have any time to yourself. You're spent by the time the day is over, right? So your only time is weekend. But what time are you going to go ahead and apply to the market? And here, if you go to trading resources, under trading resources, there is the time allocation worksheet, right? Sean did a great job with this worksheet, right? It's fantastical. I just don't know where it opened up. It opened somewhere. I just don't know where. Let's see. It's on 6. Maybe it didn't. Oh, there it is. Just took a long time to open. Right? So what do you do on Monday at 7 a.m.? Let's pretend it's over here. Let's say that it's not, excuse me, just so you can see it. It shows 24 at the top here. If I put down work here, I didn't enable editing. Okay. But if I type in work here or type anything in there and hit enter, it just took 15 minutes away because that's how much time is in there, right? And then I go ahead and say, all right, this is all work. So I've got 21 and a half hours that day on Monday that available to me, right? Or if I put that down to sleep or whatever it is, right? But use this worksheet to help you along with the trading plan. And then I want you to write out your trading system, right? So let me go back for a second. Sorry. You've got inside the trading plan, you want to have the capital plan, you want an education plan. How much are you going to spend on education? And I wasn't meaning it in the sense of cost, but yes, are you going to invest in your education? Or how much time you're willing to put in every day or week or month into your education, right? That's what I was getting at. The types of trades you want to do. Are you a swing trader, a day trader? Where's your first focus going to be? Rob, I'm trading a long time. I've got multiple strategies. Great. Then you need to write a strategy out for each one. But the most important part of that strategy is 4 words. Write them down. Identify, enter, your entry, management, and exit. Identify, enter, manage, exit. Those 4 sound very simple, but it's the hardest thing you'll ever do is write a successful trading strategy, which is why, guys, go and follow what we did in Pop 5K. I had great conversations the other day with traders that are using it and having some good successes. On paper, of course. We only talk paper. But follow the rules in there. Guys, that system, that strategy is phenomenal. Yesterday, we did power option plays. I gave 5 or 6 companies I was looking at for today and whether I thought they were great or okay from Pop 5K. Right? Great little system to use. Excuse me. All right, so let's see. All right, so Charles said, can you please review how to get the trading plan? Sure. So Charles, all you're going to do is go to the homepage, right? After you log, well, actually, you don't even have to be logged in to get this. No, you will. You will. You could see this business development. You could see it, but I think this is locked. It doesn't let you in unless you're logged in, right? So go here to business development on the homepage and you're there. That's all it takes. Trip said doing the same thing and getting, it just, his next comment was 20 questions are invaluable. Yeah. The stuff that's in that trading plan that's up there is just that, invaluable. Amy said, having you as a mentor then trying to follow the rules laid out is what has helped me the most. There you go. And Amy dropped in the link, or Amelia dropped in the link to get to that business plan. So you have access to it inside of the chat box, which is why you always want that chat open. Okay. All right. So write out your system. That's going to be the last piece, is write out your system in depth. What are you doing to find a candidate? Once you found it, what's the reason you're going to take the entry? Once you're in the trade, how are you managing it? You getting out all at once? Are you scaling out? How are you managing the trade? And then the fourth part, the last piece, is your exit, right? If you can put all of those things together, those 4 components, you've got the makings of what will be a great system if you can write it out that way. And it needs to be. It needs to be done that way. Go and check out what we do in Trading You, where I actually write out a systematic approach to identify, enter, manage, exit in the various strategies that we do. So Trader Will said PDD is a run to 100. I don't know if that was one of them out of Monster Market Movers, but yeah. So Jim said if you click on the learn more, if you're not logged in, it prompts you for an email address. If you logged in, it comes right up. Yeah. So we've got it set up like that on purpose. We're more of a member site than the way we're developed or set up than we are trying to drive new traffic in, as an example. This is really built for you guys, but I want you logged in to be able to see what's available, right? So it actually lets us, helps us with the website by doing that as well. Oh, part of your trading plan. Well, okay, got it. Got it. All right, so where are we? So we've got a little bit of time left. So let's go take a look at some candidates. Give me the ones you want to be. Boy, Larry was just sitting on that. So let's see. SE. Who is SE? Oh, SE, C Limited? I don't know why I thought that was SEA. Okay, well, let's see. So we had a great overall trending pattern in there. Higher price stock. Not one that's, it's not a great place to draw fib. We don't really have a great place anywhere on here to draw fibs at all, right? So let's see. So if it, okay, so we got a little bit of room. So Larry, I need to see it get back above the 8. It actually needs to get above the 166, and then 175.5 is the next upside target on SE. Procter and Gamble, PG. Keyboard here to be easier. Overall trending, but not a nice pattern, not a good pattern the way it's set up. This is a little bit of a better structure for a fib than we were with SE. Okay to that wick, that's fine. All right, so right now we're in a neutral bias. Moving averages are all screwed up. I wouldn't do anything until we get back above the 8, which needs to be above the 21. So get the moving averages in order to take a bullish trade. Or if it flips over, I want to see at least the 8 move down below the 55 to take the bearish trade. And then Snapchat was the last one he put in. All right. So let's go over here. We have no fib lines. No moving averages on there. Okay, just making sure I'm not deleting stuff by mistake. We have no moving averages. If we grab a pen, let's put that down there. Okay. So what do we have here? Well, we're kind of sideways here. We make this move up. Little V bottom there. This move up, little V bottom. This move up, little V bottom. Nothing in here that's real exciting until we get to this move. Then we actually have some distance behind us. So let's go ahead and clear all that off. Let's go grab, and we could snap our fib. We're going to snap the fib from down here. Right, this gap up, this gap up, big candle. We just kind of fill that candle and go. So this was just a, wow, what a run. Whoo, I need a rest. And we took off. That's all that was. Make sure you have at least $1 between the 50 and the 618. We do. So we're sitting right now at 39.20 fib line. We've got 440. So we actually need a fibit inside of here. So we're going to split that level in half. So we're going to put in the -136 and the 118. We'll put both of them in. We'll go back to template number 2. And, well, I mean, Larry, today was a perfect day. Look where we were, 39.20. Even more importantly than the 39.20, look at the moving average confluence at that same fib line. And 236, for those of you that know it, you know what 236 represents, right? For those that don't, I'll tell you. But 236 is hesitation. Right, Trader Will. So what happened? On Friday, we came down and we stopped right at the hesitation point. Today, we bounced. 41.70 and 44 are your 2 targets there. Hope that was helpful, Larry. Okay, Trip. IBM, since it's been a while. Let's see. So we need a whole new fib on itty bitty machine. Finally got a bounce point. We've been waiting for it. I mean, from a logical standpoint, Trip, I'd want to see it go down. I mean, that's what I would be preferring is bearish. 106 to 1. Yeah, we need a fib inside of it too. Just a little bit over. So let's add the negative 136. Come on. Oh, there's the 118. And negative 136. We got them in there. Okay. So that's logical. Trip, if we get a great bullish day and you think there's a potential run from that 113 to 117, what do we got there? $4. We're at 660 is the Fibit. So I'm okay with a day trade on this if that's the, you know, if that's what sets up. I'm good with that. I'm good with that if it sets up, right? But I prefer to see it roll over. Let's see. Brenda said QQQ. Brenda, how often do you trade this? Because you put this one in every week. So bearish bias, we're nowhere near moving average. Wait, what's going on? So NASDAQ has gone down. Holy mackerel. All right, interesting. Look at that. Gap fill. Huh. Okay. Well. Okay. Got it, Brenda. So we're sitting at a zero line right now. Right, if you can get a bounce, you've got the short-term move up to that 278 level, 277 half level, whatever you want to call it, right? If we break, look for the retest of the 269.5 and a fail to take the bearish entry. Not necessarily what I'd be looking for today, too late in the day. Just interesting that they turned over the way that they did on Qs. NVIDIA. There's the doggies barking. Kevin said, can we look at it for this week? So once again, you know, look at the layout. The first thing you want to say to yourself is, what's the bias? Well, the bias is bearish, but it is not true bear. But the 8 has crossed down through the 21. The pink has crossed down through the green. So we can take a bearish trade. So a push up into that 510 half level and a fail is a potential to enter into a bearish trade. So if we, that's why I keep the pad here. 5, 10, 44 on NVIDIA. All right, let's go see. Oh, look at that. We got a line drawn in there. So what happened? We made a move up. We failed. We closed right at it and we failed. If you were thinking bearish, there was the entry, right? If it ran up, it failed here again. Now moving averages aren't helping us any, right? Sitting right there. But now what happens? I get a confluence of the moving average and the fib line, right? We now press below on a close that 8 moving average. We retest in here and fail yet again, okay? So was the potential in there? Yes. Was it clean with the run that it made? Not as much as I'd like it to be. But the potential was there on that for that entry there. but you had to deal with the intraday moving averages as well, right? And you've got that 500 level then as your first support level there, Kevin, right? The next target is 492 on the downside. On the upside, I would take nothing to the upside at all unless it's a day trade. I'm okay with that, but nothing I would swing on it whatsoever. Hope that helps. Let's see. Mike's asking for RTX. Whew. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm going to delete. Why am I not deleting? Oh, there we go. Okay. Must have had a lot of stuff drawn on there. So RTX, let's go ahead and bring us back in a little bit closer. We're looking at 64 to 52. Okay, so we've got a decent move down and a bounce to draw our fibs off of, right? Next thing after you draw the fibs, check the Fibit. Well, check to make sure you have at least $1. We do, so the fibs are fine. Check a Fibit if it's anywhere near you. We've got 52 to 55. We're fine. Fibit is double the Wilder's average true range. Right now, this has got to be greater than 4 for it to be a problem. It's not. 55 to 56.5. Right? So it's small, nothing to worry about. But do we have anything that's setting up as a trade right now? And the answer is no. So, Mike, this would be me. Right now, that's where I am with RTX. Very relaxed state. No chance of hitting the keyboard and placing a trade. My hands are back here. Remember, this is the most important part. And if you don't like them behind your head, sit on them. I don't care, but you can't move them, right? I want them locked up. That's the whole, there's psychological reasoning behind it, and that's part of it. So I'm looking at this saying, yep, I'm not ready. But Mike, we move up into that 56.5 level and we roll over, you've got some downside potential. The only bad thing is it's not big. You know, you got 54.75 and then 52 is your next target. It's okay. It's just not a big enough, for me, it's not a big enough move to want to take the trade. But I hope that helped. Nice jazzy hands. Oh my goodness, DX said I came late. How are you handicapping the election and its effect on the markets? We spent 40 minutes talking about it, DX. I'm sorry. Right now, basically, you know, it's up in the air. There's a lot of Biden supporters out there now saying, I'm unsure. And I'm talking about people that are vocal about it online, that are just unsure as to how strong the president's numbers are really going to be. So we'll see. Let's see. Will was asking for Hess. Yeah, you know, gas companies, oil companies, tough trade right now. I mean, you look at crude oil back at 35 bucks again a barrel, really low price, cheaper than the U.S. can even produce it for. Middle East, absolutely, they're about 10 or 12 bucks it costs them to produce oil. We can't, not at that prices. Fracking maybe, but not at the prices that we're at right now. So tough trade. I'm not dealing with anything energy right now, Will, so I'm kind of staying away from it. Let's see. Rick's asking for Team Mus. I wonder why you're asking for that, Rick. Rick used to work for those guys. So could this be a V bottom in here? Possibly, Rick, but I would wait and see what happens with the earnings. If you wanted to draw a fib in there now, I'm not opposed to it if all the rules are met, right? We've got at least $1 between the 50 and the 618, so I'm good there. But if you get a fast, hard reversal in there because of earnings and a new V bottom, I would discount this fib completely and put the new fib in place. All right? But wait for the earnings. It was at a great place earlier today at the 111.30 with a downside target of 107.5. We've got 5. Yeah, we've got plenty of room. It's there. The potential is there, right? All right. Let's see. Ellen said, I got the gap fill on the Qs today with an out-of-the-money option. Prices are too inflated. Oh, absolutely. I went through this the other day. They're insane. Yeah, so let's look at Ford. Ford, right? Whoo! Like all-time highs, right? Just about. Well, not all-time, but recent highs, right? So we broke the previous high, but you got to go back here to, last year to see bigger numbers really taking place in there. So it's too small of a number to draw fibs on. There's just not enough movement to take a fib trade on it. The only thing I would ever consider forward for is a covered call, naked put type trade. I can't get enough from the movement for it. Now, if you caught this and it went from 6.5 up to 784, okay, not bad, but I can do that on Apple in 10 minutes, right? Which you would pick up here over a month. So, but with that being said, bounce off of the 8 to the upside, bullish. I'm looking bullish on it, preferably. And I would use this line here, about 8.25, as the target. Can't hit the keyboard and trade. Exactly, right? Right, exactly. Dollar Tree. Sure, Daniel, let's look at that one. Sounds like the landscapers are outside. You got it, Jim. No worries. So Dollar Tree. All right, so this is a training that I just did using Dollar Tree. But right now, where are we? We are in a bearish bias, right? So the entry, look, see what I said? The entry level came off of confluence. Watch. Check it out. The entry level came off the confluence of what? The 8 moving average and the fib line, right? So we were here, we gapped down, we stretched up, we got back fairly close, 30, 40 cents away or so from resistance, and we rolled over, right? There was a potential entry. Your target was right here. And I did this trade, I did this example last week, right? So what happens, right? And so actually your target wound up being about here, $90, right? Is where we got taken out of the trade. So somewhere in that first or second day, you're completely out of the trade. But that's the point, is we look for a confluence, a fail, and a target is our next fib line, period. Right? So now with all that being said, on Dollar Tree, Daniel, what do? The trade isn't set up now. The moving average is kind of in the middle now, the 8. We did become true bear, right? 8 is on the bottom. Green is slightly below the red there. You can see it a little bit better now. Slightly below that red line or maroon line, brown, whatever it is, right? So we are true bear, but right now it's just a more than 25%. What do we have here? 89 to 93, $4, let's call it. I'm more than $1 below this already, which would be at 92.25. Right? Right there is where my horizontal line is. My moving average is below that. So if my moving average is through the first 25% of the distance of the two fibs, so in other words, watch. We said $1, right? So 93.25, 92.25. Close enough. If my moving average is below that line, as far as I'm concerned, there's no trade any longer. We have too much. We've moved too far away of a confluence happening like it did back here. Right? I am not about taking lots of trades, but I am about taking good quality trades. I'll take less of them for the quality. So Dollar Tree, Daniel, I'd be waiting on a new setup on it, unless you wanted to try to find a day trade coming off a moving average to the downside, or off that 89.24 to the upside if you thought it was a strong enough move for that day. All right, so I hope that helps. Where are we going? All right. So guys, if you truly want a systematic approach to the market, right? If that's really where you want to be, right? And we jumped right in. We didn't go over anything today. By the way, there's the calendar for what's coming up, right? Sorry about giving it to you at the end of the class. But there's calendar, right? But if you truly want to have a systematic approach and you have not been able to develop it at this point, then follow along with some of the stuff we do in the education. And I'll tell you right now, what we do in Power Option Plays, go and watch. Guys, enroll in the quarterly program. There's a 2-week trial there. Enroll in the quarterly program. Go and watch Rob's Secret Sauce and go and watch Pop 5K. It's about 4 hours of training between those two, right? Go watch those 2 trainings. If you feel that it's not something for you, cancel. Your card won't be charged. You got a 2-week trial. If you feel that it is for you, go ahead and leave it alone, and your card will be charged automatically, the $6.95, right? And if you want to just go for the monthly, there's no trial on the monthly, but you want to just go with the monthly, it's $2.95 for the month, right? I promise you, most of you, once you take it, even if you think you're canceling, you won't be, right? It's just way too powerful of what we've got going on in there right now. I mean, just the Pop 5K alone, I know people are going to retire just with that strategy. I don't doubt it for a second. Just trading that. So there you have it. Yeah, Daniel, you're right. You were thinking about waiting for a better entry there on Dollar Tree. Exactly. We're just not there yet. So your mindset is in the right place. Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I hope it was a good class. I hope you got some good stuff out of it. I hope, I made some sense of the election woes of what's going on. Back away. Don't trade if you're uncertain. Day trade only right now, period, to me, until we see the markets settle. And I don't mean we're not settled now. I'm talking about after election, or how are the markets handling what's out there, right? If you know how to trade and the markets are tanking, jump in and trade that downside. Don't even think twice, just go for it, right? The opportunity is going to be there if you know what you're doing, right? And that's part of what this is all about, is learning exactly what it is to do. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, you have a great rest of your day. God bless. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. I'm going to leave the room open for a couple of minutes. You can go ahead and grab the links that Amy and Amelia have dropped in there. And I will see you all at the next one. Take care, folks. Bye.